I don't know, maybe it's just me. Because Grace said it's been a long time coming, and Gabriel said that they've come close a couple times. I don't know. I feel like there's some stuff
And
we
still,
don't
my
know.
task has not ended. Still, a bit of curtain blocks the light. Something must complete the message. Something which will give us entry into the abyss. Truth and falsehood battle in my head until I hear their message. It is the number of our patron sky traveler and that of a famous seal. The soul of the matter is evident to me now. At the intersection of the many, I lay down one rigid arm, and the others scatter around the crown like jewels. At last, the queen is adorned for her coronation.
And we already solved that. I just didn't show it.
3 is the Trinity and the separation of the spheres. The 3 which are the 4 are the divisions of the temple. I began my journey in the shadows and completed it in the light. I had marked the site at last, there in the center of the most sacred space. At the summit of the mountain, the place stood out in the brilliance of the midday sun. It was guarded by the 3 knights' towers, the rooks, on the circuit of the divine horsemen of the abyss.
So that specifically mentions
The 3 which are the 4 are the divisions of the temple. The rectangular shape on my map seems to match the temple diagram, but Scorpio says the divisions are important. I should try to mark them out.
We don't have the temple diagram because the link was down. So hopefully...
It's funny that they already had link rot.
Well, I think that was even more of a thing, wasn't it?
I don't know. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
As people transition from Gopher.
But it seemed like it was an internal thing. I don't know why. All right. Yes, here is the temple diagram. It looks like basically a square portion, which would be 2 units on our map, and another 2 units, and then in the middle 4 units. And it said the center of the most holy space. So that's the uppermost one was the holiest of holies. So we think that maybe that's the important point. But the first thing is to mark out the sections. There's the big rectangle that is the temple. So I'll just add points on the corners of the Holy of Holies. Is it holy
I don't
of holies
know.
or holiest of holies? I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, I think I can add them all at once, and it understands what I mean. So I don't know.
That's it. The divisions of the temple. That's the porch down by Lebec. Then the middle is the sanctuary. And the third part in the north must be the Holy of Holies.
Yep. So let's mark the center of that sucker. Oh, no, I've got to select enter points again.
The center of the Holy of Holies. I think that's the site. It's on Mount Cardew. I'll write down the coordinates.
And we'll mark the site. Just in case somebody else comes along and steals our information. We want people to know that that is the site. The site for what? It might be the entrance to the big temple. I don't know. So that's one place that we haven't been to. And we also haven't been to the 2 points. Oh, there's Bukele leaving Madeline's room.
Signore Bukele. Is it
Everybody's
just me, or
carrying
does he
crap
seem
around.
particularly out of place here? Must be those black socks.
Is it the same newspaper? I don't know who they think they're fooling. Now, the interesting thing is that Grace doesn't actually know that Madeline has it at that point. We saw her take it. Or we think we saw her take it, but we never told Grace
No
that.
one's in there.
So you would think that Gabriel should have mentioned that. But anyway, we, the player, know that Bukele probably has the manuscript at this point.
And we should beat him up.
We should keep track of him.
Why haven't we found it yet? I'm getting very discouraged, I can tell you. I thought Dr. Wen had such promising leads, and with the additions we came up with...
We mustn't give up yet, Lily.
Perhaps. Oh, why can't we simply pay someone to dig it up?
Because you're poor.
I certainly can't with my tendinitis. And you, no offense, darling, but you're taking too long.
I'm trying.
Estelle!
Oh, sorry. Anyway, you said we couldn't let anyone else in on it.
I know what I said. Oh, my. Dr. Wen must be right, mustn't he? The Great Seed absolutely has to be here. Otherwise, how can one explain that cache of Egyptian artifacts he found here in 1963?
Of course it's here. We'll finish up at the site today, then check the maps again tonight.
Not me. I can't. I tell you, if we don't find it, I can't carry on one step further.
Please don't say that, Lily. Everything's going to be fine.
In fact, we know that they're nowhere near the correct spot. I like how they can't possibly bring in anybody else, but they can talk about it loudly in the dining room with Madeline sitting like 6 feet away.
You wouldn't want to whisper that conversation.
No. Or not even announce it in like the loudest voice ever.
Well, she's only got the loudest voice ever.
I'll go get the bike.
Her indoor voice.
She doesn't have an indoor voice.
We can see on the map that the sign of Solomon
I think I'm getting close.
in 2 places. Here's the southwest one, which is inside the temple walls, and we've written down that position on our paper. There it is. And again, it's on an integer, so I can just zero out those numbers. It turns out it's at the back of this area, so I'll just walk there quickly. Don't know what we are going to find, but it looks like there's a little rock over there, like an outcropping or something.
Do we give it a shove?
No.
Yeah.
Although that did look like one of the verbs, didn't it? I don't believe that that would be wise. So let's see. There's some stuff here. It's a scarf.
It's right around here, under that pile of rocks.
Have we seen that scarf before?
What's that?
What is that? I don't know.
It's a red handkerchief.
Why don't you twirl around
Didn't
first?
Wilkes have one like that?
Hey,
He
well,
must have found this spot. Maybe that's why he was killed.
well, it's a good thing we're here then.
Yeah.
Well, what was here though? Did he find what was here?
That pile of rocks wouldn't look just a wee bit artificial, would it?
I got news for you. None of these rocks really look realistic to me. Yeah, you should go
I
get
should
the
go
shovel.
get the shovel.
Uh-huh.
Why didn't you?
She has to walk over to the rocks before she can go get the shovel. It's important.
Do you think you just might carry it with you in case? I mean,
She didn't know we were going to a place where there might be something, even though we've been solving a treasure map puzzle. And we're going to one of the places. There's another note.
I knew it!
So Wilkes found this spot, but he didn't find this. What did he think he had that he was so confident?
Where was Osiris when the star shone over Bethlehem?
It doesn't seem very helpful. What did the other notes say? Who were the Magi? Those seem like not very useful clues so far. Oh, we cannot get to the place on the map.
we could if we brought our bolt cutters.
We did not.
Well, this is the back of Mount Cardew, but I think the actual point of the hexagram is further up that way.
Well, fortunately, it seems like someone's left the note on the outside of the fence, so maybe they couldn't get in either. Or they didn't care to, or they knew that we couldn't. Oh, this is the one that says, who are the Magi?
Who are the Magi? Who's leaving these things?
Who indeed? I don't believe you will find any fingerprints on those. So that's not going to be helpful. Now there's also the site, which is marked by a treasure. Well, let's go to the Outlook first. Because there's something interesting going on in the valley that we should like to check out with our binoculars. Yes, there's a shot of Grace's behind.
Yes.
With her stylishly torn jeans.
I just don't think Grace is the type who would wear jeans with a hole.
You don't know.
I wouldn't have.
I think that maybe Grace from Gabriel Knight 1 would. It's hard to see Grace from 2 doing that. She seems a little stuffier. We can look down at... No, nobody there. We can look at Tor Magdala, and we see Madeline also doing what we are doing.
We should throw a rock at her.
I don't believe that Grace can throw that far. I think that would be amazing. And what's going on? Well, nothing, apparently. So if we're going to find Bukele out in the valley, we can't do it right now. I don't know. What is the kind of person that would wear torn jeans? Is that...
I don't know, like, well, with a hole under your butt.
Why not?
Your butt might hang out.
Maybe she's trying to attract somebody. Maybe she's looking for a mate. All right, let's go to the site. It's actually across the road from here. Across this little bridge, which I don't really think needs to be there. Maybe it's for wheelchair accessibility.
Well, I guess I should go up there and check it out. Wow, this is really nerve-wracking.
Yeah, there might be vampires.
I think I'm close.
Nope, no vampires.
There's another note, though.
Couple trees and a note. First of all, I want to check out these coordinates, because whoever buried this clearly had a GPS of his own and wouldn't have been very exact about that.
Totally.
Mm-hmm. That sounds right. Given that he or she didn't even leave the previous note at the actual site. He left it on the fence.
That was just being considerate of us.
I mean, what did the people use, like a sextant to lay down these things? GPS is a relatively recent thing. Yeah, let's go ahead and try digging in the rock.
I should go get the shovel.
You should
bring the
go
shovel
get
always.
Guess I have to give it a shot.
God damn you, Grace.
You might even need to hit somebody or something. I mean, you just have a shovel.
I thought so. If the treasure's down there, it is way down there. This mountain is solid rock.
In fact, I'm going to start carrying a shovel with me always.
I think that might get you some strange looks on Marta.
Yeah, you think that other people on the train might be weirded out by that?
I would.
I might not be the weirdest person on the train,
The ones who wove the vine
though.
in the Pharaoh's days weave it still. The ones who would steal the sacred wine long ago seek it still. Oh my God! Oh my God! It's talking about the vampires.
Certainly seems that way. And yet, that's not very helpful. Hey, a little bit of time passed. Let's go check out the overlook again. Maybe.
So Grace stood there fretting, and
Yeah.
time passed.
Well, no, I guess it took a while for us to hike to the site. She sounded winded, so I guess we
that's
skipped
true.
over a portion. All right. And I think Madeline is still there, but I'm not really concerned with that. I can look again if we want. Yep, she's still at it. She seems to be putting her binoculars down quite a lot.
Hey, somebody's parked out by that big orange rock that's off the main road. VDG 945F. Hello, Bukele.
So, we know Bukele has the manuscript, and we don't know why he's out by some rock, but I guess Grace surmises that he may be hiding the manuscript there. I don't know why he would do that. Maybe he should park off the road.
Crazy talk.
Orange rock now appears on our map. Yeah, If these guys are spies of some sort, they don't really seem to be very good at the cloak and dagger part. Anyway, Kelly is gone by the time we get here, but we see this.
Did we bring the
Pet
shovel?
cemetery? I don't think so.
No. Why would she bring the shovel?
I can't scan that into Sydney.
I love that
There you go.
that's a button. You gonna go get the shovel?
Yep. Time for some elbow grease.
Oh my god, just have the shovel.
No. Honestly, it looks like it's in 1 inch of dirt. I don't know that we need the shovel.
Yeah.
Oh, look. Yes, elbow grease.
Larry's manuscript. Why am I not surprised? And it still has its plastic cover, too.
Now,
That should give us a few opportunities.
we certainly think that this has changed hands a few times. And therefore it's worth printing. Now, actually, we should find Mosley's print because we actually saw him pick it up.
I got one.
That's actually not proof that he stole it, but we know that he did.
Aha.
Okay. 3 prints.
There's one print.
One is Mosley's,
There's a second print.
probably Madeline,
3 prints. I think that's all of them.
and certainly Bukele. So they all not only stole it, but they read it. How did they get into each other's rooms? Well, Madeline, we know, got in because...
Using her wiles.
Yeah, but how did she end up leaving with it? I don't understand.
She wore him out.
Did Mosley leave while she was still in his room and
Maybe
just tell her,
he was
hey...
asleep.
Oh, you think that they did it?
She might have.
All
I
right.
don't know, to get what she
Well,
wanted.
we know that she slept with the Abbé. We can chat with Estelle and Lily. You know, we do not actually have Estelle's fingerprint. It would be nice to get that since we're about to print
Let's
this
take
thing.
her shovel.
Finding anything, Estelle?
Not yet.
How'd you guys pick this spot anyway?
Out of the mouths of babes.
It's a perfectly sound analysis. Quite complicated to explain. Of course, we can't take credit.
Dr. Wen. Well, let's hope Dr. Wen isn't Wong.
Dr. Wen, huh?
It sounded
Needs to
miserable.
get a computer.
Yes. Dr. Wynn is not half as competent as Grace has been in figuring out a, 1 century old riddle. Of course, somebody's been helping us, and no one's been helping Estelle and Lily. And you may have seen in that scene that Estelle had a plastic bottle. So if we can get our hands on that
Georgette.
bottle later.
The maid, she gets no answer when she knocks. Monsieur Knight must be out.
Merci beaucoup. I'll try again later.
The most British of all men.
Grace!
James, hello. It's nice to see you again.
I was trying to find Gabriel.
He's out in the valley, I think, working on the case.
Has he found anything?
I think so, but he better tell you himself.
I see, all right. I'm staying at the Villa Bethania. Some people were kind enough to offer it. Will you ask him to come by as soon as he gets back?
Of course.
Grace, thank you.
What is Gabriel doing? I actually don't know where Gabriel is right now. We haven't seen him.
That's true. I have no idea.
Well, we'll have to wait till the next chapter to see what he's doing. But he doesn't have the bike. So where could he have really gone?
Well, he wasn't he piggybacking with Mosley?
Okay. Where are they going together?
I don't know.
I don't either.
Gay bars.
Are there gay bars here? I
Well,
didn't see
maybe
any.
not right here. It is kind of out in the country.
Yeah. Well, we got a bunch of files that we should scan in. But we haven't...
Well, if the secret brotherhood exists, they're no doubt in Rennes-le-Chateau this week. Everybody else is.
That Who Are the Magi letter leads us to search for that. It just talks about the three wise men. I don't know. It doesn't really seem that relevant, does it? Whether or not the Magi are one with the secret brotherhood. I don't know. One of the few non-Jewish religious groups to be shown in a positive light in the Hebrew Bible. The Magi appear to verify his divinity by means of astrological signs and omens.
Osiris was part of the Star of Bethlehem, and it looks like it's about to, or just did, go into the same configuration again.
Is that true? The star that appeared over Jesus when he was born was coming up in 1999. If that was true, people would be going pretty crazy.
Seems like it would give the end of the world people.
Every 2,000 years, it aligns with certain planets. Okay, well, maybe that was the Star of Bethlehem. Probably not, though. Okay, well. Et in Arcadia ego sum. What about that? If you search here, it thinks that there's an anagram of these letters, and it's going to give us. It's just going to go through all the letters and see what words in Latin it can find. Now, I found this to be very obscure.
Does it really have to make this sound the entire time?
Yes, it's futuristic.
Oh my god. Kill me now.
Hey.
Ugh, yay, it stopped.
Yeah. And if you leave this and come back, it will it'll reanalyze if I go and do something else. Anyway.
Don't make me hear that sound again.
No. Okay, so this passage refers to it specifically.
At the window of the ruined house, I looked across the trees denuded by autumn. Close to me, a presence, its feet in the water, like one who has just received the mark of baptism. I recalled the inscription, Et in Arcadia ego, blank, blank, blank. Through some selfish inspiration, I found the missing three. The dust settled, and I saw at last. Curses, I know the truth. He is there, dead. The broken bread lies forgotten beneath the altar.
Okay, he is there dead. So when we're looking through the anagrams, we might want to choose a word that has to do with that. Let's go back to analyze, and oh, good. It has not forgotten and did not have to reanalyze, which apparently takes a really long time. I would think that would be pretty quick, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's just shuffling letters around. Well, then it has to check against a dictionary. I don't know. If you
I found the missing
implemented
three
it
letters.
badly.
Sum. I have a feeling that's not all, though. The Serpent Rouge talks about dust settling. In crossword puzzle lingo, that implies there's an anagram in here somewhere. I should try to analyze it.
I didn't know that. Is that a typical crossword puzzle thing?
I'm way not into the whole crossword puzzle
I've
scene.
done quite a few. I don't remember ever seeing that, but I guess I don't do the hard ones. So what words do we think should be in here? It specifically refers to Poussin's tomb, so we might think tomb is there. And now you can see that those letters have been grayed out. We know that it's talking about Jesus or God, maybe. What else? I touch. I don't know exactly why this is the right answer, but it is. And with the remaining letters, which again I don't believe should take this long to figure out, Sydney deduces that the remaining letters do spell out another word that was not in our dictionary, I don't believe.
Oh, my God. I mean, oh, my God.
Yeah. Does that really help us? Tomb God, I touched Jesus.
Well, word order is not important in Latin. So.
Okay, but how does that help us find on the map where the...
But the worst is yet to come. How many have pillaged the house, using the most sacred for purposes most foul? I turn north. Facing me, I see unwinding endless by its coils, the enormous red serpent mentioned in the documents, rigid and bitter. The huge unleashed beast at the foot of the White Mountain becomes scarlet with greed and drunk with stolen and profane communion. Deliver me out of the mire.
Le Serpent Rouge is
Turning
there.
to the north. Okay, that must be north of the site. I see the red serpent, rigid and bitter. Must be talking about some kind of landmark feature.
So we should go look at the map. Anyway, there's the red serpent, which I guess is the namesake. But was Le Serpent Rouge in English? No, it wasn't. It was in French. Who translated this for us? And is the translation even accurate? So these are the 3 prints from the manuscript. BLD. Bloodline, I guess is what it stands for. Alright, let's see who we can match to these suckers. Yeah, match analysis.
Working.
Which takes much longer than you would think.
And it makes this wonderful sound.
You don't like that?
Bukele, the sneak.
Okay, well, we suspected that that was the case. We actually saw Bukele burying it, so that's not shocking.
Working.
And let's do this again.
Why would Grace build such irritating sounds into this program?
Well, I think when somebody is building something, they just want it to be spiffy.
Madeline had her hands on the manuscript.
We knew that too. We saw her spiriting it out. All right. And in fact, we don't even really need to check the third one. We know that Mosley had his hand on it, but we also saw him leaving with it, and that's really the only thing that makes sense. So not only did he pick it up in our room, he probably read it. And we have no idea why he would do that. He is supposedly here on a vacation. We do not know why he would take an interest in that to the point where he would steal it.
Gabriel was right.
All right. Now, there's one print that we still haven't been able to match to anybody, which was on the envelope for Le Serpent Rouge. Now, again, this passage refers to the site, north, and to a serpent. And, in fact, this railroad track here does sort of look snaky. Do you think that looks snaky?
It looks pretty snaky.
Yeah, it's a little snaky.
I'm curious why somebody would build railroad tracks like that.
So we'll just mark some points.
Yep, that's it. That's the red serpent. That is weird. It must point out something.
Yeah. What does it point to? It points to the winery, doesn't it? Wonder why.
I've only got one more stanza. Capricorn. I am aware of the scent of the perfume which impregnates the sepulchre of the one I must release. Cursing the profane in their ashes and those who follow their ways, I returned from the darkness while making a gesture of horror at the abyss into which I had plunged. Here is the proof that I knew the secret seal of Solomon and had visited the secret places of the queen who watches over the king. They must be talking about going down into the cave. Take heed, my friend. Do not add or take away one iota. Think, and think again. The base lead of my words may contain the purest gold. Let he who has the understanding use it with wisdom.
That may be the most obscure passage yet.
Hello?
Hey, Mose, you're back.
Yep. Gabriel and I, we had it out.
You did?
Uh-huh. Guess my little secret is, out in the open now.
Huh. Is Gabriel here? I've had some real breakthroughs with Sydney.
Yeah, he wanted me to come and get you. He's holding a meeting in the dining room.
A meeting? Well, this ought to be interesting.
Like, if you don't want people to find out about stuff, just don't keep a diary. Seems like it would be easier.